coming to you from an unknown location, at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, bringing you the unknown. Welcome to another spine-tingling episode of Paranormal 411. Your hosts are David Reagan and Jason Scott, and together, they dive headfirst into the mysteries that lurk just beyond our understanding, featuring notable experts ready to share their insights into the world of the strange and unknown. So pull up a chair, pour a cup of something warm, and prepare to be enthralled. Here at Paranormal 411, we're not just a radio show, we're a community of truth seekers, adventurers of the mind, exploring the boundaries of the known and unknown. We invite you to join us, to share your thoughts, your experiences, your questions. Whether you've had your own encounter with the supernatural or you're simply intrigued by the inexplicable, we want to hear from you. So, don't be shy. Drop a comment and let's unravel the mysteries of the universe together. Buckle up as we journey beyond the veil of the ordinary, into the heart of the extraordinary. This is Paranormal 411, where the inexplicable meets reality and imagination takes flight. Stay tuned and remember, in the world of the paranormal, nothing is as it seems.
All right,
everybody.
We are back on this Saturday.
Yeah, woo! Saturday. Can you believe we made it to Saturday already?
I know. I can't wait till next Saturday either.
Well, we got to go through
Actually,
Tuesday
Friday.
and Thursday first.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That's right. Hey, just want to let everybody also know that every Tuesday, 7 p.m. we do a show. Thursday, 7 p.m. And Saturday we do 8 p.m. We're a little late tonight. But on our Tuesdays and Thursday shows, we want to have more of you on here.
Yes.
So if you have an awesome story to tell us and want to come on and tell us, we would definitely love to do that. You could hit us up at info@paranormal411.org. That is info@paranormal411.org. Just tell us you got a good story, whatever it is. It's ghost story, a Bigfoot story, dogman story. You got abducted. Any of these stories, anything paranormal.
Yeah.
You saw little people.
I wish we could get enough people to do that, to open the phone lines up and have a abduction hotline.
Yeah. See, we've got.
Or a Bigfoot hotline.
We do have phone lines.
Yes.
So
we need the people.
Yes, we need you. We need you. You. Also want to remind everybody, they're flying off the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's buying them.
Record rate.
That's right. So East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2. Buy your copy. This is the hardback copy. Man, these things are beautiful when you get them in. They're gorgeous. Everybody's writing really good reviews. And
I want to thank everybody that's already bought one.
Yes. And everybody that's about to buy one today. Hey, yeah. Susan said hers came in today.
Heck yeah.
And she's wanting us to sign it for her. I said, no problemo.
No problem.
Also want to let everybody know that tonight, on Saturday night, 10 p.m., you could listen to us, right? On WDJY FM. If you're in the metro Atlanta area, that is 99.1 FM. And that's all right. If you're not in the metro Atlanta area, you could still listen to us at WDJYFM.com. You could also listen to us. Go over to paranormal411.org. Click the link and listen to us. Our book is also on the link at paranormal411.org. Or you could just, go to Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2.
Leave a review.
Leave a good review.
No bad reviews.
No bad reviews, please. Even if you didn't like it, still just leave a good review.
Call and tell us you didn't like it. Don't leave a review.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. See?
Hey, we got a good show tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We've talked about this before.
We have. Hey, Eddie.
What's up, Eddie? Yeah, we've talked about giants in North America before, but we're going to do it again.
Yeah, this is a pretty fascinating topic, though.
Every time I see something, I watch something, there's a show.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know. Everybody's seen a show somewhere at some point on this very particular subject.
Yeah.
I just think that it makes you, I don't know, it makes me think anyway. I'm sitting there like, you know, what was here? Because a lot of the native legends talk about it, you know, talk about these giants that lived here before and stuff like that. So
sure did.
Fascinating subject.
It wasn't just one or two. I mean,
Right.
they're saying it's like
A
hundreds of
race.
thousands.
Yeah, it was races of them, you know. So
Then you got people like the Smithsonian want to cover all this up.
well, yeah, I mean, you know, they don't want them people to know that true history.
Yeah.
Ah.
Even one of our presidents.
Yes.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
You know, he had a speech. I think it's pretty fascinating, and I think last time we talked about this subject, we also brought this speech up.
Every time we do,
Yeah,
it comes up. I mean, it's in words right there.
Yeah, and excuse me, but when he sits there and talks, you know, says what he says, we'll go back through it because a lot of people, I think, misinterpret it. But you know, he says that the eyes of that species of extinct giants, whose bones fill the mounds of America, have gazed on Niagara as ours do now, contemporary with the whole race of men and older than the first man. Niagara is strong and fresh today as 10,000 years ago. The mammoth and the mastodon, now so long dead that fragments of their monstrous bones alone testify that they ever lived, have gazed on Niagara in that long, long time, never still for a single moment, never dried, never froze, never slept, never rested. And that's just a part of what he, you know, but to me, when he says the eyes of that species of extinct giants whose bones filled the mounds of America,
Right.
and you're talking about the mounds of America, and that's where all these bones were found. And then he goes on to say the mammoth and the mastodon, now so long dead that fragments of their monstrous bones alone testify. He's separating the two. You know, they're not the same. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's just talking about the mammoths and the mastodon bones. No, they weren't in freaking
buried mounds. Right.
You know, they were just strewn about, or while you was digging, you'd find them or something, but there was no mounds that were excavated that they found mammoth bones.
Yep.
I think that's just a good way of opening it up. But I just think that that alone shows that they know something that they don't want the rest of us to know for some reason.
Yeah, and you got to realize that this president was right in the midst of the discovery of all this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all in the 1800s. And yeah. And it's funny because a lot of the records that you see, like when they go into newspaper clippings and stuff like that, almost every one of them at the end of it, you see it says one thing: who came and took them to study them further.
Smithsonian.
The Smithsonian. Why would they say that if it wasn't true?
Where'd they put them? Burn them?
They got rid of them.
You have to excuse me. I got a little cold today.
Just a little.
Had a little cold for a week.
Yeah. Be all right.
So, Native American tribes, including the Iroquois, Osage, or Osage,
Osage, yeah.
Tuscaroras, the Hurons, and the Omahas have oral tradition about ancient giants who once inhabited their ancestral lands. So these giants are often described as powerful beings that roam the territories long before recorded history. These stories are part of a rich culture passed down through generations, and they contribute to the mystique surrounding giants in North America.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think so. Oh, who's this? Salute. Giant bones are found during roadworks, and the local tribe tell stories of how they pushed them off of a cliff. Wow.
Wow.
Really? Wow. That's interesting.
So really, it's not just North America.
Right.
I mean, there's discoveries all over the world.
All over the world. Yeah. Not only in North America, South America, or the Americas period, but you have tales of these giants in tons of other countries.
Yeah.
That usually tie them to some megalithic structure too that are being built or was built.
Well, I know back in
New Zealand. Awesome.
I've heard of giants in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Back in the Sumerian days, I guess it was
The Nephilim.
Maybe no, I'm not thinking Nephilim. I'm thinking there was one demigod. He has the lion in his.
Oh yes, that's depicted with the lion.
Yes, and there's a story behind that of him battling that lion. I can't think of his name.
I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but I remember the picture.
Yeah,
or not the picture, but the inscribing that was on a temple.
So it goes back way back.
Right.
That's in Mesopotamia, I think, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking a long time ago. I mean, and this right here, shows, I mean, even in New Zealand. Yeah. I mean, these things have been around, and what has always fascinated me about this subject is that you have someone that's always taken these things for further study and then never bringing them back.
Yeah.
Ever. They're gone for good.
They're in the basement.
They're in the basement of somewhere. Susan said there's a book called Bigfoot Wild Men and Giants Archives by David Paulides. Huh. Very interesting. I didn't know. I know David Paulides was in, a lot of the Bigfoot research. He's also in MUFON, stuff like that. I didn't know that he had a book that also talked about giants.
Oh.
It's interesting. He's done a lot of stuff. Now, reports of giant skeletons in the U.S. date back all the way to the 19th century. Now, these discoveries are often associated with Native American burial mounds. Skeletal remains measuring anywhere from 7 feet or 2.1 meters to an astounding 20 feet or 6.1 meters tall were allegedly found in various parts of the country. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. For me, I think of the red-headed giants in
Lovelock.
Yeah, the Lovelock Caves in Nevada that were destroyed and killed, and then everybody thought it was a myth. And then years and years later, they was in there mining for bat guano. And what'd they find? Red-headed giants.
I think they found a male and a female.
Yeah, I think it was several males and a female that they found in there. But yeah, one of the Maori demigods was a red-haired giant from Peru. One of the heads on Easter Island named Morongo, god of Kumara. Huh,
Sweet
sweet potato.
Interesting.
That is.
So we got the mound builders.
Yes.
During the 18th and 19th centuries, European settlers embraced myths of pre-Columbian civilizations from the Old World. They believed that ancient white races had once inhabited North America. So the story of the mound builders emerged, suggesting that massive earthworks like the Great Serpent Mound,
Not
that's
far.
in Ohio, right?
Yeah, Ohio. That's not far from here.
And Grave Creek Mound were not created by Native Americans, but by a lost race of advanced builders. So this narrative provided a rationale for colonization and diminished the roles of Native people in shaping North American history.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I will say that some Native Americans do say that they didn't build those things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, take it for what it is, but
they got the I think that was handed down to them.
Yeah.
And they build their, maybe taught to them.
The Cherokee Indians here talk about in the overlands that there was a giant race that lived there in these big fortified structures, and they watched over everything. And then they said that they left. But
yeah, the slant eyes.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, the mounds and earthworks here in America really are fascinating. I've been to quite a few of them, taken a lot of photographs, and for a book I was writing a long time ago that I've never finished. But I find a lot of the mound builders, I mean, these things are standing until the 19th century and stuff, and until people started farming and tearing them up, farm on them. So I mean, they were very well constructed, and a lot of them were actually constructed to solstices and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm. So
they actually had meanings besides just being a earthwork. Now Lake Delvin actually had some purported skeletons,
this is in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in May of 1912, the Peterson brothers unearthed 18 skeletons on a lake in southwest Wisconsin. These skeletons stood between 7 and 9 feet tall. They all had elongated skulls. That, of course, if we all know, elongated skulls aren't natural. It's either
wrapped or
it's either done that way or it's natural, which they've only thought of a few that were natural. The Peruvian skulls they think are natural, some of them that they're not wrapped. Now the New York Times reported this discovery, capturing the imagination of the public and sparking debates about their origin. Wonder why we don't find these discoveries, why we don't discover these things anymore.
Well,
we're building stuff everywhere all the time.
I think they do, and when they do, you have to contact a
archaeologist or
a governmental department,
mm-hmm.
and they give permission who can excavate it and who can't.
Gotcha.
I was just looking at this. There's a new law about it.
Is there?
Well, it's not new. It was back in 1911, maybe, that they made this. We'll get to that at the end.
I like it.
Interesting, right?
Yes.
But why would you, if nothing was there, why would you make a law that says nobody can touch these but, government officials that give you permission?
Because it's, it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They want you to say it's a conspiracy, so then that way it make you look crazy.
So, the skulls at this Delvin Lake, they exhibited peculiar traits. They had They sloped straight back above the eye sockets.
That's crazy. That's right here. Like,
Yep.
right here. Right at your eyebrows. Yeah. It just went whoop.
And the nasal bones protruded significantly above the cheekbones. Jawbones were long and pointed, resembling those of monkeys. And the teeth in front of the jaw were regular molars. These giants were unlike any known race inhabiting America at the time. It left everybody puzzled.
I could see that, though. Could you imagine, like, right here, just sloping back?
Yeah, and then their
right here,
jawbone was straight.
The nasal bone was out further. That's
kind of shape of a monkey.
Yeah, like it almost had a muzzle. Huh?
Might have been a dog man.
Susan, you can't go there. There's dog men there. Now, Lake Delvin was not an isolated case. There has been similar discoveries that were reported across Wisconsin dating back to the mid-19th century. In 1891, the New York Times mentioned large pyramidal monuments near Madison, Wisconsin, suggesting that an ancient population of over 20,000 people.
200,000.
Or, I'm sorry, 200,000 people. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Pyramidal. Monuments. I'm sure there's probably step pyramidal, but where'd those go?
There's a whole lot of stuff that we're not told.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I think, the thing about it is I think that we're kept in the dark purposefully. I don't know why, though. I mean, to be honest with you. And I know that I've heard this side of the story too. Why would they keep it a secret? Why would they want to keep it a secret?
They don't want to change history.
Right. So history's written, and we don't want to show that Columbus didn't discover it, because we all know those people here before Columbus.
Columbus did not discover North America.
Yeah, I think we should do away with Columbus Day, to be honest with you. It's a fake holiday. It's fake news.
He may have visited it.
He never even touched foot on the continent of North or South America. He only stayed in the islands.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how did he discover it?
Right. Exactly.
Looking through his little
telescope. He's going, I see something over there.
Eureka!
I found it. It didn't know it was missing. No, I think it's pretty crazy. And then to say that they had pyramidal monuments with a population of over 200,000 people. For them to come to that kind of conclusion, what was the evidence that they had? Because that would have had to have been some crazy evidence to say there's at least 200,000 people that live there. That's insane.
Can you believe that? 200,000 people, at least 8 to 10 feet tall.
I like that. History's written by lawyers and accountants. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That is a fact. Now here in the great state of Tennessee, we had one too, didn't we, Jason?
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about that one?
Yeah. Nashville, Tennessee, or Franklin County. In
That's
1845,
what we need. We need a one that
we got a oh, not that one. Hold on. Let's see here. Breaking news. Nashville, Tennessee, December 18th, 1845. As seen. Oh, let me pull the image up.
Oh yeah, you got to see the image of this. Now this is the image of the newspaper article, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, let me pull that up here.
Share your screen, Jason. Whoop, whoop.
All right.
Voila, look at there.
Whoops, got an ad on here.
Uh-oh, no ads. I did an ad on a picture.
So this this is a newspaper article from Tennessee. It speaks on a human skeleton that was found in the area. It says this skeleton was alleged looked at by the Nashville I can't say that word. Orthopolitan, and described as weighing in the range of 1,500 pounds. This means that they judged it to have weighed 1,500 pounds as a completed and preserved skeleton. So being that the entire skeleton would have weighed this much, the estimation of overall size while the skeleton was part of a living being would have been nearly 3,000 pounds.
That's a big dude. I'm telling you, what's up?
They also suggest that the height of it being around 18 to 20 feet tall. And that's an article in the newspaper back in 1845. Is that not something? So there's your evidence. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. When it comes to stuff like that, it's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they want to erase history.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then they want to say all these people are crazy for saying it, right? That it was a hoax, that it was a slow news day, so they just made up these articles and stuff like that. That's one of the biggest naysayer things that you hear out there is people saying, "Oh, well, it was a hoax article. The guy or girl, lady is probably a guy back then because they were sexist." But
yeah, and then later after the article comes out and somebody identifies as a human, remains, somebody from where comes in and says, "No, that's a mastodon bone," or "That's this, that's that. It's not human." And that's how it's labeled.
And it's even said though that it was orthopedic.
Yeah, an orthopedic doctor.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think you're right, Pan Badass. History is written by lawyers and accountants in the Smithsonian.
Smithsonian definitely has a something to do with it. I just don't think that there's anything else to say about it. I know you're about to say we're going to go to a break, aren't we?
How did you know?
I had a feeling. Hey, remember East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2? This is that nice hardcover book that just came out. It's really, really pretty. Now this is our copy that we get, but yours won't have that pretty band across it like that. It says not for sale. But East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2 is out, and it's getting rave reviews. They're flying off the shelves. Whoa, like I'm just crazy, aren't they? You could go to paranormal411.org, click on the link. It takes you right to Amazon. You can just go to Amazon, search for East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2, and buy the book. We would definitely appreciate it. What did he say?
In 2020, there was a secret search for giant bones in New Zealand.
Wow.
It was in the New Zealand Herald.
That's interesting. That
Yes,
is
it is.
interesting. So remember, you can find us at paranormal411.org. You can find us at Paranormal411 on Facebook, YouTube, and X every Saturday night. That's tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are on WDJY FM. If you're in the Metro Atlanta area, that is 99.1 FM. If you're not, that's all right. You could go to WDJYFM.com, or you could just go to paranormal411.org and click the link. Have you ever noticed that anything that has to do with us, you can just go to paranormal411.org and click a link? Takes you to almost everything we do.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
That's kind of how that's supposed to work, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Remember, we're on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Join us.
Join us.
Join us. We'll be back right after this 6-minute, 1-second break.
Yes.
Oh, man.
What if the world we know is merely a fraction of reality? What if there are forces, entities, and phenomena that exist just beyond our comprehension in the shadows of the unknown? Welcome to Paranormal 411, your gateway to the unexplained and the downright chilling. Imagine, if you will, a quiet, sleepy town tucked away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The locals tell tales of a house atop a hill where strange lights flicker and eerie sounds echo in the dead of night. Some say it's haunted, others claim it's a portal to another realm. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: those who venture there are never quite the same. Or picture this, a clear, starry night in the heart of the desert. Suddenly a blinding flash cuts across the sky, a craft of unknown origin moving at impossible speeds. It hovers, then vanishes, leaving only questions and a sense of awe. Could it be visitors from another world, or perhaps a secret government project? These stories, these encounters with the unknown, are what we love here at Paranormal 411. Our mission? To explore the unexplored, to question the unquestioned, and to shine a light into the darkest corners of the paranormal. We've journeyed through haunted houses and UFO sightings, and into the mysteries of cryptids and psychic phenomena, and pondered the existence of other dimensions. And yet, there is so much more to discover. Paranormal 411 is your guide to the unexplained and the extraordinary. Here we talk about the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of our world, from haunted houses and UFO sightings to cryptids and psychic phenomena. We love to question, to explore, and to understand the unknown. There's a world of mystery out there just waiting to be discovered. So why not join us on this journey into the unknown? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and become a part of the Paranormal 411 community. Together, we can uncover the secrets that the universe holds. Welcome to Paranormal 411. Your journey into the unknown starts here. Join us.
In the heart of Madisonville, Tennessee, lies a pizzeria like no other. Step through the door of Legends and Lore Pizzeria and be transported to a realm where paranormal and cryptid encounters, along with mouth-watering pizza, go hand in hand. Meet Eddie and his crew, who serve up slices of the supernatural along with the best pies in town. With the walls adorned with eerie artifacts, indulge in piping hot slices that melt in your mouth and tease your taste buds. And it's not just the locals who love the incredible pizza. Legends and Lore has been selected as the best pizza joint in all of Monroe County. As lovers of everything pizza and the paranormal, the owners have mastered the art of crafting unforgettable combinations that will leave you wanting more. To stay connected with this mystical eatery, follow Legends and Lore Pizzeria on Facebook, where tales of their latest creations and upcoming specials will be shared. Make sure to browse their custom menu, featuring legendary pizzas like the Chupacabra Ranch and the Exorcist. So, whether you have an appetite for the supernatural or simply seek the best pizza in town, Legends and Lore is the place to be. Come for the unforgettable flavors, stay for the captivating stories, and find yourself in a world where legends and pizza collide.
Get ready to rock with the electrifying sound of Catalyst, a band that's sure to leave you wanting more. With their powerful lyrics and killer riffs, Catalyst is a great sound in the world of rock music. You can listen and find Catalyst on Bandcamp, or go to the link at paranormal411.org and click on their banner.
All right. Can't never get enough of that Catalyst.
Catalyst. Want to thank Catalyst for allowing us to use their music. You could go on to Bandcamp, right?
Mm-hmm.
And listen to their music. If I'm not mistaken, you go to paranormal411.org.
You can.
Click on a link.
Click on a link.
Go straight there.
Go straight there.
See, if you've noticed a pattern emerging here, we really would love for you to go to paranormal411.org. Right?
Yeah.
So do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
We're gonna have to break out the Hans and Franz.
I'm Hans.
And I'm Franz.
And we're here to
pump you are. Oh no.
Oh man. He's about to.
Here we go.
Oh man, that's good. Whoa.
Uh-huh.
You did it. What the heck did you do? Oh, no, you undid it. So
I undid it. You want to talk about this one, or you want me to go ahead and read what I got here?
Which way do you want to do it?
I can go ahead with this first.
Okay.
I found this in one of David's books. It's called Giants on Record.
Yeah.
And it's by Jim Vieira and Hugh Newman.
Yeah. I'd love to get Jim Vieira on the show because he had that TV show, for a little while where they were hunting.
Is that when they got cut off?
Yeah, they was gonna go. They found that big ass tooth in that place, and then they were going to excavate into a thing, and then bam, it never came back on again.
Crazy.
What the heck?
Smithsonian shut them down.
That's it. You can't do that, boys.
So this guy, there's a story in here. This guy spent 3 years among the Comanches in 1859. His name was Nelson Lee, and this is a detailed account of his life as a Texas Ranger.
Oh, that's cool.
His subsequent capture by the Comanche people and his escape through the mountains back to his colonial settlement is a fascinating story, and that also demonstrates the inner workings of an Indian tribe who were changed forever by the interference of the white man. So he came to admire one of his captors and even married a woman from the tribe. He learned their myths and history and wrote about them in his book in 1859. And here's a story. This is one of the stories that he learned from them. Innumerable moons ago, a race of white men, 10 feet high and far more rich and powerful than any white people now, here inhabited a large range of country extending from the rising to the setting sun. Their fortifications crown the summits of the mountains, protecting their populous cities situated in the interventing valleys. They excelled every other nation which had flourished, either before or since, in all manner of cunning handicraft. They were brave and warlike, ruling over the land, and they had wrested from its ancient over the land they had wrestled from its ancient possessors. Now, this is a story coming from the Comanches that he was taught. With a high and hand, compared with them, the pale faces of the present day were as pygmies, both in art and arms. They drove the Indians from their homes, putting them to the sword and occupying the valleys in which their fathers had dwelt before them since the world began. It's crazy, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
At length, in the height of their power and glory, when they remembered justice and mercy no more and became proud and lifted up, the Great Spirit descended from above, sweeping them with fire and deluge from the face of the earth. That sounds like the Nephilim.
Doesn't that sound a lot like Noah?
Noah, yeah.
Sure does.
Man, something's going on. The mounds we had seen on the tablelands were remnants of their four fortresses, and the crumbling ruins that surrounded us, all that remained of a mighty city. The rolling thunder, the day will surely come when the present white race, which is driving the Indians before it, and despoiling them from their inheritance, on which, in the confidence of its strength, has become arrogant and boastful and forgotten. They will be swept from existence, for the Great Spirit is just, and as certainly as the rivers flow downward toward the sea, and the sun rises in the morning and at night, so certainly will he yet restore the land to their fathers, to the red man, when the days of his afflictions are past.
So they're saying the white man now is going to end up the same way that they did.
Yep.
Susan says Eddie has that book too. And Pan Badass told us that they have similar stories. They call them the surveyors. You want to show that to everybody?
Yeah.
And they placed rocks. Oh, what the? That's not it.
All right, let me find it.
That's it. They place giant rocks in positions we still don't understand. That's interesting.
It is.
I might have to do some more studying on that.
Do you think a 20 or 30-foot person could lift a rock of the pyramid?
Well, you know, if they were about as big as one that they supposedly found in Nashville,
Yeah.
that was about 3,000 pounds, I think they wouldn't even have to be that strong to lift a third of their own weight.
Yeah.
So lifting 1,000-pound rock wouldn't be nothing.
Just wondering. I mean, it's kind of crazy, ain't it? It makes you wonder if these giants were the natural first inhabitants of this place.
That's most native cultures. That's what they say. That they were here before they were even here. What does Susan say?
There's a book called The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America, The Missing Skeletons in the Great Smithsonian Cover-Up.
Oh. Wow. We will have to check that out.
It's by Richard J. Dewhurst.
That's interesting. We're definitely have to check that out. So we got another newspaper clipping to show you here in a second.
Oh yeah.
It's about this Boise, Idaho one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So in Boise, Idaho, March 18th, 1910, in a cave 25 miles north of Shoshone in Lincoln County, Idaho. I've been to Shoshone. That's funny. The skeleton of a 10-foot tall prehistoric man was uncovered. These remains found in Idaho was said to have a 30-pound flintlock rifle near the remains.
Wow.
30-pound flintlock rifle.
That's a big rifle.
That's a big rifle. And a flintlock. That's weird because that's not supposed, that's tied into Europeans usually, flintlock, any kind of a rifle. I would say it's not a rifle. It was a gun of some sort because rifling wasn't done until, much later on that we know of. I'll say that.
It was probably a blunderbuss.
Yeah. The bones were said to have been packed up carefully and shipped to the Smithsonian.
Oh,
no
wow.
way. No way. Nah, not the Smithsonian. The skull of this person was said to be twice the size of an average human skull. Here's the
here's the article.
Giant skeleton
Found. Unmoved, unseen, and untouched for hundreds of years, or so long a period that it only can be estimated by historians, and hidden in the recesses of a deep cave 25 miles
north of Shoshone, Lincoln County, in southern Idaho. That's funny because I used to go up there.
The bones will be taken out of the cave at the earliest possible date and carefully packed and forwarded to the Smithsonian Institute.
Oh, is that right, Michelle? So Shoshone is where we went to the hospital after the wreck. That's hilarious.
Oh. After what wreck?
When I hit that big ass patch of ice and wrecked the 18-wheeler like 8 years ago. It was terrible.
Was it?
Yeah. I was already, going only like 50 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour. Yeah. It was a heck of a ride. It was no fun. No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
So the Smithsonian, they play a big part in this giant deal.
It's funny because just like what we was just going over, is going to be packed up and shipped to the Smithsonian. And you see that over and over and over and over again in all these articles. But yet the Smithsonian goes, we never on nothing. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Huh? What?
And this was a
Those people are lying.
1911. I mean,
Yeah.
When was the Smithsonian created?
They've been around for a long time. You want me to actually see? Let's see. Let me look it up.
Look it up.
Let's see.
I'll go ahead and do this. David is looking it up.
1846, August 10th.
1846.
Yep.
So
the United States Congress passed the legislation funding the Smithsonian Institution as an establishment dedicated to increase and diffusion of knowledge.
what?
And President James K. Polk signed it into law the same day.
Diffusion of knowledge.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So they were supposed to be the ones who,
Suppress it.
well, give out the knowledge.
Oh,
So they're
my
supposed
God.
to increase and they're over the diffusion. So over what people are allowed to know as far as the knowledge on it.
So that's weird. You know, they even had a law created in 1911. 1911. When all these findings were being found.
Mm-hmm.
There's a brand new law they put into place directly after the publicized Indian burial mound findings from Lake Delavan.
Yep. From the Phillips brothers.
Yep. Inside of 2 months from the first publication of these articles about the bones being found in the effigy mounds, there were new laws enacted by the United States government to stop anyone and everyone that wasn't them being the United States government,
Yep.
from touching the mounds and remains.
Touched you.
So this has to be more than a simple coincidence.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, 2 months from
The day.
yeah. And why? Why? Because from the first publication of these articles about giants' bones being found in the effigy mounds, they enacted these laws. So what does that tell you?
Cover up.
Yeah. 110%. We don't want no one else knowing about this stuff.
Right.
Stop digging in the mounds.
And if you do, here's what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
You'll be in legal trouble. Because Chapter 188, 442M, 442Z2N, and 44420 were made in order to stop people from destroying or digging up or touching the mounds and remains altogether. If anyone were to touch these bones, they would be in legal trouble. These laws also gave the state government complete control over touching the mounds and the remains, as well as giving the okay for who?
For anyone to do the same.
Anyone. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Smithsonian.
That's right.
One could easily make the assumption that this would allow the state government to let the federal government in to take the remains for their own research purposes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Crazy.
Oh, you know, I mean, what we've been talking about since the beginning of the show, pretty much has been led up to what we just talked about, right? Where all these things are found, they're dug up, and then the Smithsonian comes in and takes it. Or in that one, they package it up and ship it to them
Yeah.
for further studies. But it's funny because we have all these proofs, all the proof of this in every one of these articles, that this one entity came in just about every single time and took these remains. But they, to this day, say that they never once did that. So there's no oversight on what these people are doing.
I know it. And it's the same. If it wasn't giant bones, it's something else, like the Back Creek stone.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they came in with it too, and that was just found over here in Loudoun County.
Yep.
They came in, took it, said, no, this is not what you said it was, and it's a hoax.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I don't know, man.
Some people would think that some of these giants may be Bigfoot.
Yeah, very well could be.
I mean, could you imagine sloping head from here,
Looks like an ape.
protruding jawline?
Could be the remnants of an old tribe of Bigfoot.
That once ruled this land, that actually built structures.
I truly believe that the giant race of people were here first.
Yeah.
We even have a Cherokee story about
Judicala.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judicala actually means the slant-eyed one. And it didn't really mean that his eyes were chinky like a Chinese or Japanese. It actually meant that his pupils were like a snake's.
Oh.
Yeah. That was
That's
the actual interpretation of it. Is what it actually means. They are slanted. Yeah. I've never seen a human with snake eyes.
Vampire.
Or maybe they come from
Dogman, Catman,
another planet and they're reptilians. Reptilian overlords have come.
I think the reptilian overlords are already here.
Yeah, they're the ones in power. They're all in Washington and in the Smithsonian.
Who does Jeff Reagan imitate?
Oh,
I can't think of his name now. Ding, 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 ding.
let's see.
Oh, he done the vampire eating your babies and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. That's it.
Alex Jones.
That's it. Yeah. Now we need Jeff Reagan to call in and do his Alex Jones impersonation, don't we? That'd be funny. But to go back to where we started this show with Mr. Lincoln's actual, what he said, the eyes of that species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mounds of America. The mounds of America. Right. And then you go back to what Jason was just talking about down here. Right. That the new laws enacted by the government was to stop anyone and everyone that wasn't them from touching the mounds and the remains.
Cha-ching.
Order up.
Ding. Light bulb.
Yeah. I mean, you have a direct correlation. And for anyone who would sit there and tell me that he's sitting there talking about mastodons and stuff like that, again, that is in no mound ever. No mound ever dug up had mastodon bones in it. That's no, it didn't, you know, it didn't happen.
We have mound builders
Yes.
that bury their dead in mounds,
Yes.
not bury their pets
Yeah.
in mounds. Well, you might have a cat or a dog or something in there,
Maybe.
but I don't think anybody have a mastodon pet.
No. That was what was making the mounds.
Oh, well, covering up their poop.
That's it.
That's
Look,
funny.
I want to live on top of this.
They pooped and covered it up and made a mound.
That's it. But no, I mean, he sat there and says, whose bones fill the mounds of America have gazed on Niagara as ours do now?
Yeah, he says who's, not what's.
Yeah.
What bones fill, not whose. Whose is a person.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, after that, he also says contemporary with the whole race of men and older than the first man.
Uh-huh.
So that whole first part, he's talking about man. You know, then he goes into the mammoth, the mastodon.
After he talks about Niagara, how strong it is, then he goes into the 10,000 years ago
Yes.
mammoth and that.
Yep. And then they said that the fragments of their monstrous bones alone testify that they ever lived and have gazed on Niagara. He didn't say that their bones were in mounds.
No.
It was broke up on purpose. And no one can convince me otherwise that they weren't talking about that very particular thing.
Kudos to Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. He did it again.
Did it. Oops. He did it again.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to hit again.
So we've been talking about giants in North America, and it's a pretty good subject. We've done the show before.
Yes.
But I think it was on Red-Headed Giants of the Lovelock Cave.
That's what we did. Yeah, the red-headed giants, and we kind of touched on some other things, but
you know, I do remember a story, one more before we end the show. In San Diego, California, they found a huge Indian giant that looked like a Native American. Yeah. I think that's the one you have pulled up. Is that it? San Diego?
Yep.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
Okay. It says the corpse of the biggest man that ever lived has been dug up near San Diego, California. At all events, there is no satisfactory read in ancient or modern history of a human being nearly so tall. The mummy, for in such a condition the remains were found, is that of a person would have been about 9 feet high in life. This makes allowances for the shrinkage, which may be pretty closely calculated. Tell me about that. Isn't that crazy? As to the accuracy in the estimate, there can be no question, as the cadaver has been carefully inspected and measured by Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of the Department of Prehistoric Anthropology in the Smithsonian Institution, and by other scientists. But the Smithsonian never got things like that. Never. The tape line even now registers the length from heel to top of the head at 8 feet 4 inches. Mummified. 8 foot 4 inches. So they're saying that in life he was about 9 foot tall. The mummy is that of an Indian and is almost certainly prehistoric. Though its age cannot be determined with any sort of accuracy, historical records of the part of California where it was found go back for at least 250 years, and they make no mention of any man of gigantic stature. How much older the body may B is actually open to conjecture. Its preservation is no matter of surprise. In that arid region, the atmospheric conditions are such that a corpse buried in the dry season might very well become perfectly desiccated before the arrival of the rains and thus be rendered permanently proof against decay. Now, the body was found in a cave by a party of prospectors. Over the head are the remains of a leather hood. The man was well advanced in years, so he was pretty old too.
Oh,
It has been stated that the man must have surpassed in height any giant of whom there is any historical record. This is unquestionably true so far as the last 2 centuries were concerned. The accounts of older dates are not well authenticated. Indeed, they grow more and more apocryphal as distant in time increases. So that's just part of what it says. Yeah.
you know, they talk about too the some naysayers say that, oh, this is just cases of
Oh yeah, gigantism and right.
but
Yeah.
you know, the odds of a person having gigantism is very low, like 0.007.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty low,
Right.
and even the ones that they've
And
tested,
they usually don't get very old either. They usually die younger. That's what Andre the Giant had.
yeah,
That's what inevitably he died of too.
yeah. I mean, maybe our ancestors had this gene in their body that made them this big, and it wasn't. It was working with them,
Right.
and now some people have it. Because what's the tallest man? 8 foot, 7 foot, over 7 feet tall
Right.
right now.
Did you hear about that new young kid, 18 years old, just signed into professional basketball?
And he don't have gigantism. It's not in his DNA.
He was 6'1" at 8 years old.
Yeah.
And he right now at 18 is 7'6" or 7'8".
Yeah, a lot of these big basketball players don't have gigantism. I mean, it's just something natural that they have in their genes.
They are drinking too much milk. Stop drinking the milk.
I don't drink the milk.
I'm not drinking no milk.
Don't steal my suppers.
The frito bandito.
Don't get into too much of troubles, okay? We're having too much fun today.
Yes, that's all right.
So we've been talking about giants in North America. I believe that's about all we got.
Yeah.
Unless David has something.
I mean, it just depends on what you want to talk about because we have more. I mean, you could find a million of them.
Yeah.
There is something else that we didn't really talk about in this show that does, if you really look into this a lot, it's mentioned over and over and over and over again that for it to have been hoaxed by all these different people from all over the place, a lot of them tell the same story. Most of these giants had double rows of teeth, 6 fingers. There we go. What is that? Got an extra pinky finger. You need 2 pinky fingers. Don't need 2 pinky toes because that hit both of those on the couch. You know, one's bad enough.
I'd rather have 4 thumbs.
4 thumbs. But that was something that we didn't talk about today that no matter how many of these things you look up, they talk about having double rows of teeth and 6 fingers.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, Goliath in the Bible even was described the same way, him and his brothers.
I heard a story about how the Native Americans did you hear it too? When they do this,
The how.
how that they're
Yes, sir.
checking how many fingers you have.
Right.
Who told us that?
That was Matt Sieber when we was
Matt
listening
Sieber,
to
yeah.
his speech. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That Hal was checking that you're his friend or foe.
Yep. If you had 6 fingers or 5.
Yep.
It's pretty wild.
I have a thumb on both sides. What would you do then? You'd really be able to grab some stuff, wouldn't you?
I'll be calling you know who. Smithsonian. Come get your
my wife would have already done that. She'd be like, guess what I got? He's awful small. I was a runt.
The run of the litter.
The run of the litter. But no, I just thought that needed to be said before we left, because we didn't talk about that at all.
Right.
But that story that you read said pretty much what I was saying earlier about them, living all the way across and on the mountaintops, and all the lands were theirs. And
I heard a story also. I keep hearing stories, but I heard a story about, I think it was the Cherokee people. They had battled these people and run them off this land back somewhere else. I can't remember the exact story, but I know I heard it.
Yeah, they had a battle with them. They run them off. And what's funny is that
that's how the Mississippians got the mound started. I don't know.
Well, that as they go across, you see all the mounds that go all the way across and then into Panama area. And then when the first people came into the Panama area, there was a race of white giants and stuff that was living in that area at that time. That the natives were warring with and stuff. Yeah. And they built out of stone. They had stone fortifications and stuff like that, walls. And
we don't know the half of it.
No. Well, and what's sad is that a lot of that stuff gets destroyed. I mean, time itself destroys it, but people who don't want you to know destroy it too, right? You look at the Popol Vuh, all the writings of the of the Aztec and the Inca and all that stuff, how it was said to be of the devil, it's Satan's work, and what they do, they burnt every dang one of them. Right? Very few of them have actually escaped. And so all of the writings of these people that had very advanced civilizations are gone because people thought, that they were devil worshippers.
Crazy. Yeah. Oh, well.
So we, we've kind of done it to ourselves too.
Yeah.
As far as the loss of the knowledge that we used to have. Again, before we leave,
we do have a book.
It's a beautiful book.
East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore. You can find it on Amazon.
You can also find it at paranormal411.org.
Yeah.
If you catch the hint, everything can be found on Paranormal 411. You don't even need to go nowhere else. Paranormal411.org.
That's all you need.
If you had that in your life, you would have everything you ever needed. Paranormal411.org. Definitely check them out. It's a really good book. Remember, tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY FM. If you're in the Metro Atlanta area, that is 99.1 FM. If you're not in the Metro Atlanta area, it's all right. You can still listen to us. It's WDJYFM.com, or you go to paranormal411.org. Click the link right there. We will be right 10 p.m.
Yeah. I forget what tonight's show is, but
it's the lady we had on, the last one we had on last week.
is that what I put on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I hope you sent her the link. Maybe. Right, bro. But anyway, we're on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
I will want to thank you for listening, watching, and we will see you guys Tuesday.
Hey, remember, Tuesday, Thursday shows, your shows. Those are your shows. We want to hear from you. We want your stories. We want you to come on and tell us your stories. Hey, if we get enough people that say that they would love to do a live call-in show on those days, we'll do that too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Live call-in shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hey, whatever. Have a good night.
Good
Have
night,
a good
everybody.
weekend.